Something big. It's moving beneath the surface, and Ripple, they're not just expanding, they're positioning themselves. Now, beneath the headlines, a $1 billion move. It's starting to take shape here. One that could quite literally reprice XRP and even Ripple themselves. At the same time, though, whales are pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into rapid accumulation and institutional momentum. It's building fast, almost like they know what's coming. Halfway across the world, Ripple just secured a foothold that could really put them at the center of an entire continent's financial infrastructure. None of this looks random. It just looks coordinated to me. And if you connect the dots, you start to see a plan that, well, is going to redefine everything. Let's look at this first story. You've heard people report this. Bloomberg reporting about Ripple spearheading this 1 billion XRP DAT, digital asset treasury. Why are they doing this? You hear people say, well, it's just another way for big money to invest in XRP. Listen, this is what they're doing here and why it's so big. Who's the biggest digital asset treasury in the world today? It ain't Michael Saylor. It ain't MicroStrategies. It's Ripple. Ripple with their tens of billions of XRP. Now, Ripple stock, it trades at what, $10-15 billion. There's a misprice here, isn't there? If this digital asset treasury that they are launching now, if it has $1 billion in XRP and it trades at a premium like Michael Saylor's strategy and other DATs do, oh, what's that going to say about Ripple, the company? Literally overnight, they could accumulate $100 billion in market cap or more. Like, there is no reason that Ripple's stock should not trade to a premium of the XRP they hold. And I think this is going to prove that. And this is going to set the market. So when they go public, they're going to say, hey, we are literally in one of the hottest spots in crypto, these digital asset treasuries. We are the biggest there is. We don't use debt. We have real businesses. And this is the big part. They will no longer be incentivized to sell XRP, in my opinion. I think they will take their cash flows to violently acquire more XRP. And remember this, holding XRP doesn't give you any rights, doesn't give you any control over the network. There's not a problem in that regard. But if they're not selling XRP, even if they don't acquire more, that's going to change things fundamentally. You know, this is going to reprice Ripple's corporate value. You just watch. And that's why they're doing this. That's why they are contributing to this DAT. They want to show that an entity like this should trade at a premium to its XRP holdings. Further, not only are they the biggest DAT there is, they have no debt. They have businesses that are cash flowing. This is going to prove that. It is a huge, huge move here. Now, before we move on, make sure you're not watching this from the sidelines. This channel, we're not going to chase headlines. We catch what's moving before it hits, like that last story you just heard. So hit the subscribe button now, because once this plays out, you'll either already know what's happening or you'll wish you would have. Now, let's get into the next story here. This is a big one. We see this momentum, XRP news. Ripple eyes ETF momentum, but whales have accumulated 500 million in XRP in only 48 hours, so very rapid, because they know what's happening. What's happening? Well, first of all, this shutdown's not going to last forever. And one of the biggest moments for any crypto is when the market goes live with a spot ETF, and that's happening. We see a whole mess of them pending, just waiting for the government to come back online. And the minute they do, they're going to start approving these suckers. It's just the right time when this market should take off in a bullish fashion. Your big money, your smart money, they know this. They are buying the panic. They are buying the fear while everyone else is freaking out. This is the best time, man. You have a scary, spooky market. Everyone's freaked out. And we are so close to the promised land here, because when this shutdown ends, those suckers go live, there's going to be a lot of demand. We know that. We saw the spot ETF that was approved earlier from a very small issuer. It was the #1 ETF launch of 2025. We've set records in the futures markets. There's a lot of demand for crypto, and there's going to be a lot of demand for XRP when these spot ETFs go live. Don't get caught standing on the sideline. It's going to hit, and it's going to hit here soon. Now, this was big in its own right. Ripple quietly lands a major partner in Africa. Ripple just teamed up with Absa Bank, one of South Africa's largest and biggest institutions, to bring institutional digital asset custody to the region. This isn't just a headline here. This is the first real bridge between traditional banking and on-chain finance on the African continent. You're looking at they're going to capture custody, stablecoins, tokenization of assets. This gives them a foothold at the center of everything. And of course, payments stack on top of that. Payments are going to be in the mix. This is huge. If you own custody in the region, you got the whole game here. This is a big partnership that was announced right there. Grayscale, this is interesting. I didn't think about this. So they're going to bring staking to their Ethereum ETFs, but they can't stake everything because they got to be ready for redemption. What happens if you're like, give me my ETH? Well, you can't unstake immediately. So they're going to have 67% of their funds staked, while the rest has to stay liquid in case people ask for redemptions. That way they can start unstaking in time to meet that need. So a lot of these products, they're going to start paying staking rewards. Not quite as good as if you hold the crypto yourself and stake it yourself, but still, I think these are going to be popular. And I think there's going to be a lot of investors out there that like the idea of an ETF. You invest in the ETF, you get a dividend back, monthly, quarterly, whatever, and you get paid in more crypto, a highly appreciating asset. It's not just going to be ETH. It's going to be a lot of proof of stake cryptos out there in these ETFs, and I think it's going to be a big driver as we go forward. Just a matter of time here. Now, there are 3 major tailwinds for crypto's next rally, says Galaxy Digital. Their top analyst is saying, look, yeah, it's scary right now. Everyone feels it. Everyone saw their portfolios go down, but nothing's changed. He's saying, look, we got the big tailwinds. Stable coins, AI spend, and tokenization of assets, RWAs, are going to supercharge the crypto space. We're going to see that drive so many institutions on chain, people using this technology for real purposes. Like, those tailwinds aren't going away. We're not going to stop seeing big AI spend. And stable coins, again, that's not just an investment. That's a use case. That's people using blockchain for payments, more efficient financial systems of the future. Like, those are still here. Those are going to drive value. And you just got to keep your eye on that, knowing that this ain't the past when you just talked about stuff. You're actually seeing adoption, rapid adoption in real time, and that ain't going away. Now is the time to be courageous, in my opinion, because we're going to get by these shutdowns and these infinity trade wars, and you're going to have the same drivers there. You're going to have ETFs coming out, stablecoin adoption, RWAs, you name it. It's still coming in quickly, and that's what matters. That's the only thing that matters. Lastly, this is what we got to keep our eye on. We see 3 crypto C-suite are expected to attend a roundtable with pro-crypto Senate Democrats on Wednesday. We're trying to get this infrastructure bill through, which is the most important of everything, because it's going to codify protection for this industry. What's a security? What's a commodity? Who has regulatory authority over this space? What are the rules of the road? Because we don't know 4 years from now, 8 years from now, who the SEC is going to be, controlled by. And so we need to make sure this stuff's in law. And not just us. It's not a big deal to us. It's your major institutions that are going to pour, your big tech, they're going to pour billions of dollars into building on this technology. They have to have assurances that when they take the time, when they put that money forward, that, you're not going to flip around and sue us in 3 or 4 years. We have to know that this is all buttoned up here in this country. We see Coinbase, Chainlink, Galaxy, Kraken, of course, Ripple, Circle, all the heavy hitters, A16, they're all going to be there. It's important that they're talking to Senate Democrats because, again, right now they're the ones holding it up. They have extra demands, some of them totally outlandish, so hopefully they can come to some kind of consensus. We can move by this, and then it's going to be off to the races. So, hopefully this is productive. We want to make sure as soon as we come out of this shutdown, of course, those ETFs go live huge, and we get this market structure bill done. Because that is going to be probably the most bullish thing in our lifetimes for crypto. Because then you're really going to see people pour into this space knowing they have the protection. This is what you keep your eye on, really. If that falls into place, and they come to an agreement, and that's a green light, man, it's going to be huge. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.